Hey everybody, it's me. I'd like to welcome you back to my channel. Today we're going to do a What's My EO episode, and today we're going to be talking about thyme. You can never have too much of it, right? Yeah. Anyway, let's get started. Well, you can't really talk about the essential oil without talking about the herb, because you cannot have one without the other, right? That's what I thought. So, what about it? What is about it is so great about this herb that it's a very popular essential oil? Well, it's evergreen, like a pine tree or a cedar, and it's used for many reasons, and it's good in cooking, culinary, medicinal, as well as ornamental. It has a lot of great therapeutic properties, which I'll discuss later in the PowerPoint. It's from the mint family, and it's also related to the oregano plant. I never knew that. That's interesting. So here's a little bit of history about thyme. The ancient Egyptians used this herb for their embalming rituals and while they were doing it. Then, of course, you have the ancient Greeks. They used this in their baths, their bathhouses, and as incense. And they believed that if they used it in their temples during rituals and stuff, it would bring them and their soldiers courage for when they were fighting the bad guys and stuff like that. Now, the ancient Romans also used it in a similar fashion, but they also used it to purify their rooms and giving an aromatic flavor to their cheese and their liqueurs, and likely their wine as well. In the Middle Ages, the thyme was used underneath pillows of their soldiers and, well, just about anybody for use as a sleep aid, as we would a melatonin today. It was also used to ward off nightmares in their sleep. So, as a favor or a gift to knights or soldiers or whatever, before they go off to fight or for a joust or something like that, they would use, women would make bundles, maybe sometimes in pouches or just with pretty ribbons or whatever, and they would bundle it together with some thyme. And they believed, as the ancient Romans did, that it would give their knights, their champions, the courage to face battle. They also, like the Romans, used it as incense, and they placed it in the coffins at the funerals, and they used it and believed that it assured a safe passage to either the afterlife or heaven, whichever they were believing, whether it was a pagan thing or a Christian thing. Now, thalamus was its name, and it's also the name of a genus of fish, the thalamus. It was first given to the grayling, as seen in the little snippet that I took from a book, which I'll have the source link down below anyway. He says it was described in 1758 in the system of Systema Naturae by the Swedish zoologist Carl Linnaeus. If you studied, well, philosophy, anthropology, sociology, you'll hear Linnaeus's name come up when you're going back through the history before you get into the theory part of things. Anyway, this originates from the faint smell of the herb thyme, which emanates from the flesh of the fish. So what Linnaeus wrote in his book is the name grayling is at least 5 centuries old. Oh, okay, this was a report. Anyway, 5 centuries old. The thalamus originates from the faint smell of the herb thyme, which emanates from the flesh. The grayling has been described as the lady of the river. However, Table 1 indicates the many different names by which it is known throughout the rest of Europe. And like I said, I'll have the link down below so you can actually look at the table and the rest of the online book as well. How can you grow it yourself? It's really easy to grow. I have some on my deck right now. It's over there. Unfortunately, you can't really see it, but it's so easy to grow. It is so easy. I've been growing thyme for years. There's so many different kinds. There's holy thyme, lemon thyme, creeping thyme. They're all delicious. They all smell good. And like creeping thyme, it's a great ground cover. Bees and honeybees love the flowers for pollinating. Got to protect those honeybees, you know. Anyway, so for the best results, you can plant them in a hot and sunny area, well-drained soil, and it's best to plant them in the spring, so they'll have all season to grow properly. It is a perennial, so you can plant it once, as long as it's well maintained and, you know, cared for. It'll come back and again, and it spread and get bigger. It's really great. It propagates itself by seed. You can also do it by cuttings or by root division, like you would like a hosta. It's also really drought tolerant. It is such a hardy plant that it can tolerate really deep freezes. Okay, now let's start talking about essential oils, now that we've got the herb out of the way. Now, there's a lot of properties with this essential oil. It's pretty amazing, actually. It's antibacterial, it suppresses muscle spasms, and it also slows progression of rheumatoid arthritis. It's also an expectorant, which is used for when you're coughing to help you cough up mucus from your lungs. It's also a very calming, soothing scent. It's great to use in blends that you're going to be using before bedtime in a diffuser. It also increases your blood pressure, so if you have low blood pressure, this might be something that could be useful to you. Well, and on that note, it also increases circulation, so it could possibly be good for injuries. To continue on with the uses, it's good for cooking, obviously. It's been an herb for cooking for a long time. And it's great for the hair and the skin. It prevents hair loss, and it's also a toner for the face. And it's really great if used with apple cider vinegar in a toner with a little witch hazel. So good. Definitely helps my skin demons, my face demons. It's also great to use in your shampoo and your conditioner. The medicinal home remedies it can be used for are gout, menstrual and menopause issues, wounds. It can also be used as an insect repellent like citronella. It helps to repel parasites, mosquitoes, and even fleas. And as long as it's been used as an herb, as talked about in the history section, it's used for its aroma, whether it's an incense or the oil itself. Aromatherapy. So it's great for calming and clearing the mind, for working and enhancing the memory, as well as enhancing one's concentration in things. It also helps to improve oral health, too. It's great as a mouthwash, and it works really well when combined with peppermint and or wintergreen and or eucalyptus. As most things in this planet, we are all created by different kinds of chemical components, whether we are plant, mineral, vegetable, animal, whatever. So I'm showing you a list of chemical components of the thyme and their uses. For instance, thymol is a great antiseptic. The thugenol is good for hormone and immune system balancing. The geraniol is what gives thyme its lemon fragrance, and the alpha terpeneol is what gives it its peppery scent. The p-cymene, as quoted in the source, which is linked below, it is obtained within spring, or else it becomes a different chemotype. And the phenol is said that these are thyme plants that grow high in the altitudes and contain up to 90% of phenol compounds. Now, let's talk about the benefits of thyme essential oil. Acne. After testing the effects of myrrh, marigold, and thyme tinctures on acne, the bacterium that causes acne, scientists at Leeds Metropolitan University in England found that thyme preparations may be more effective than acne prescriptions, whether it's creams or liquids or that thing that you rub on your face with the chemicals in it. Anyway, the researchers also reported that while the three tinctures that they tested killed the bacterium within 5 minutes of exposure, thyme was by far the most effective. Thyme was the most effective of the trio, killing around 100,000 bacteria per milliliter, or 500,000 per teaspoonful. Pretty incredible. They also discovered that the thyme tincture had a significantly greater antibacterial effect than the standard concentrations of benzoyl peroxide, the effective ingredient found in many creams and washes for people with acne. It's also anti-hypersensitive. Researchers at the University of Belgrade, Serbia, they reported in their journal, Plant Foods for Human Nutrition, that aqueous extract obtained from the thyme plant, wild thyme, it reduced the blood pressure in an animal experiment on laboratory rats. In an abstract in a journal that they wrote, the study authors wrote, our results indicate that it may protect against hypertension in an experimental model of essential hypertension. It's important to note that some chemotypes of thyme can also act as hypertensives. Thymol is a very powerful antiseptic for both internal and external use. It is also employed as a deodorant and as a local anesthetic. It is extensively used to medicate gauze and wool for surgical dressings and applications. It resembles carbolic acid in its action, but is less irritant to wounds, while its germicidal action is greater, and it is therefore preferable as a dressing, and during recent years has been one of the most extensively used antiseptics. So as you can see down below, that it's great for use in foot fungus because of its antiseptic and antifungal properties. So before the advent of modern antibiotics, it's, quote, my sources are labeled by number now at the end of the presentation and at the bottom so that you can find it easily. So before the advent of modern antibiotics, oil of thyme was used to medicate bandages. It has also been shown to be effective against various fungi that commonly infect toenails. So there's that. Now let me talk a little bit about Young Living's thyme essential oil. It is a key component in, I have an insect on me, yay, filming outside. It's a key component in ortho-ease, and it's great for after exercise and giving you a sense of purpose when used aromatically, like in a diffuser. It's also Earth Kosher certified. I will have a link about the Earth Kosher certification down below. Suggested use on Young Living's website is by diffusion, directly inhaling, or to apply topically. Of course, since it is an herb, you can also ingest it. I suggest a drop or two is all you really need for any recipe otherwise, because the flavors are so concentrated. Anyway, so the caution with this is, with anything, please keep it out of the reach of the children. And if you are pregnant, nursing, taking medications, or have medical conditions, consult a health professional prior to use. But, I have to say it, legal stuff. Anyway, so for a 15 milliliter bottle, the retail price at Young Living is $44.41, and my price that you can get by ordering through me through my website, nikisessentials.com. I can get it for you for $37.13. Now, if you're a member of Young Living, or when you choose to become a member, you get 24% off the retail price. So its member price is even better than what I can offer you, and that is $33.75. So that's really all I have to say about Thyme right now. I have a lot more information in the blog post that will be accompanying this video. So please make sure you check the description box, go to my blog link with the article in it, and give that a look-see. And don't forget to leave comments in the blog, subscribe to it, follow it. You can follow it by email as well. So if you found this helpful and useful, give it a really awesome big fat thumbs up. And if you are new here, welcome. And if you would be so kind and hit the subscribe button wherever the heck it is. I don't know, they always move things. And if you found it educational and you learned something, whether you're new or old, subscribed or not, just please share it with your friends, your family. You can put it on Facebook, Twitter, reblog it, go on, put it on Reddit, anywhere. So I will see y'all next time. Friday, I will have a presentation about the member benefits of becoming a member of Young Living and explaining a little bit more about that. I know I talked about that very, very early on with something else, but I never really got into the whole thing, just in case you wanted a little bit more information. So I thought I'd go in a bit more in depth with that. So I will see you all on Friday. Have an excellent day. Stay safe. Be well. See you soon. Bye. Don't forget that if you found anything useful and you're looking for more information, these are the sources that I used. And I've also added a few other extra links as well for further reading. I will also have these in the description box below, so you'll have fresh links for your fabulous learning usage. Bye, everyone.